Coach, you mentioned before you've been on the other side and lost so many close games over the last year in 9 games. To finally win one at the end, you have to be proud of the way your team hung in there.
We are. I am, and happy with the win. It's what I told our team. And, as I told someone else, 2 years ago, we won every close game, bunch of them, a 20-win team, won, every close game just about. And then last year's team, a new team, lost every close game. And a lot of those players from last year are back this year, and it was good for those players to see some success in a close game. We've lost a shot at the buzzer this year, and so I was happy, for them to be on the winning side of something at the buzzer, because in the last year or so it's been tough, and regardless of how the game was played and went, I was really happy for, in particular, our returning players.
Walk us through that coast-to-coast drive by Jordan Harris with 4.3 seconds left.
Well, I told him in the timeout that you had 4 dribbles, and tried to get him on one side of the floor, moving to the other, so he could drive it with his right hand. And Jordan's one of our faster players, sprinting up and down the court, and spread the floor from there and see if he could get to the rim in 4 seconds, and if not, kick it maybe. If somebody helped or possibly even pull up. But he got there. He got all the way. It just shows you a lot of times, people, when you see 2, 3, 4 seconds, it's a lot of time, more time than you think. And especially with today's kids that can move up and down the floor. And so that's kind of what we teach our guys, 1 dribble per second. That's what you got if you're moving forward. And he had a good push and made it all the way.
I know you're disappointed that you weren't able to close the game out when you had the 12-point lead in the second half, but it was a difficult game for you to manage, too, because you had 4 guys with 4 fouls.
And we had, some Marvin Jean-Pierre being in foul trouble hurt us because he's our driver, and he's our, physical guard. And we needed a little bit of that in that second half against the zone since we weren't hitting threes. We made some, but we missed a lot of good looks. And we needed some inside play from him. So he was on the bench, and that hurt us a little bit. And, we didn't get to the free throw line as much as we wanted to. So, you don't necessarily want to just be a 3-point shooting team. And we that's one thing that our team is trying to figure out, how to score when we're not making enough threes or shooting a great percentage. And that happened to us a little bit in that second half when they went to the zone. And a mature, aggressive team would have closed them out by getting the ball inside, by driving it, and then hitting the occasional 3 while they had them down. We lived off the 3, and it didn't go as much. And so next thing you know, you're in a fight to the end.
In that stretch where you're closing out the non-conference schedule, not a bad way to start this 3-game homestand.
Well, it's not. And again, we continue to be a work in progress. I did some things tonight that I hadn't done that people won't realize. I played Brandon Newman a lot tonight. We hadn't been playing him much this year. I wanted to give him a look, an honest look in a good game, and of course Roderick Taylor was out tonight. He's had some concussion issues from the last game. And that hurt us a little bit on our rotation, but we're still a work in progress. And it's always nice to be a work in progress after a win, and so that was really the moral of this story here tonight.